All right, guys, we welcome Mat Playford, unique DJ, to our Norwegian viewers, and also the rest of the cloud through the World Wide Web, rest of the world. And Matt, thanks for a great set at Space on Sunday. That was quite unique with your own gear and your own synth solos and the Moog and the whole thing. I have never seen that before myself.
Knowing your history, that's a very nice compliment.
Well, you said you were a little nervous, but I couldn't notice that. You were looked like the adrenaline was kicking.
Definitely. I was like a salmon at one stage, swimming upstream.
Tell us about your new record, Artist Portrait.
Okay, it's for We Love that do the Sunday night, and they've just started a record label, and it's a double CD. One CD is in the traditional format of an album, so 10 tracks, all original music, and the other side is in the traditional format of a compilation. CD1, like I said, is an artist album, and CD2 I have licensed other records and artists that I like, and also my collaborations within like dance music. Just people like Paul Walford, Tim Deluxe. There's a remix on there by Lucas C, Brigante and Only Love, and also like up and comings like Joe Morris from Leeds.
Right. So now tell me about your gear and the set, and how did that come about? Is that something you just figure out?
It came about stemming back from last year, and I was We Love knew that I play keyboards and do that kind of thing. Also, as a DJ, been booking me for 4 years, but I did a sound test. They flew me over last year to set up a grand piano and bring some of my keyboards over for Carl Craig and Francesco Tristano. And I did a sound check at like 2 a.m. on the grand piano in the discotheque. And when I come off, they were said like, well, look, if you can do this, why are you just DJing? We want more out of you. And they were pushing me, and they are pushing you as in like a young artist, and they're getting behind you like as an institution and want to push you further. So that means pushing your skill set, and they asked me to perform, and then the album came about as well within the time. So I wanted to think up of a concept. At the time I was just getting into modular synthesis, and it's the big step up from owning your normal keyboards to go real geeky. And what I didn't want to do is spend all this money and not it be as functional. And at the same time the idea came, so I wanted to sort of marry up the two, having a functional sort of DJ performance set and have a modular unit where you can use different things to come in through an analog path.
Do you actually use Moog stuff to mix in the tracks as well?
No. Well, I did actually use. There's a Moog Filtertron app, and I run a couple of beats and loads of effects through that.
Okay.
And that was on one of the iPads, and on the other iPad, I've got like a Mac Mini under the box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you can use it as remotely. Through some software. There's a few things that I don't want to tell people about because I want to keep it kind of secret. I mean, that sounds a bit silly, but and I'm working on my own app as well, and that should be ready just before Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. Which is sort of incorporating what I'm playing around with now, and then hopefully I can give that out to people as well and take that to other people.
So now, tell us about your new label.
I have a collaboration with a guy called Paul Walford, and
he's of course a legend, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's definitely getting there.
Yeah,
we're definitely getting there. I've known Paul for like 15 years, and we kind of started on the journey together, and we were collaborating 15 years ago, and we're the bestest of friends.
Are you the same age? No?
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah, same age. And we've started up a new name, which is Ford Incorporated, Ford Inc. And we've just had a record release on Throne of Blood.
How about Ford cars? Then are they gonna?
Nah, we'll be bigger than them. Don't worry about that. But no, it's interesting. It's fun. I mean, the project with Paul, it's just two friends making music.
Yeah.
That is the be all and end of it, and we're not overthinking it either. We're just going in, boof, doing it. Boof, boof. and we've got about 10 tracks ready to go.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And that should all come in sort of just after the summer, before Christmas.
Great. So tell me now, how has your life changed now because of the so-called EDM syndrome has gone worldwide and what do you call major?
The democratization of music. Is that
Well,
what you mean?
it just that like with with David Guetta and all this. Suddenly, this underground music was commercial.
Yeah.
Has that changed something for your life and your?
Well, I believe that. I mean, 10 years ago there was underground records that became commercial, but it was a different type of commercial. I mean, now that the name you just mentioned, I'd class that not really as dance music anymore. It's more pop music.
Right.
It's really catered to pop music, but just using electronic instruments.
Sounds, yeah.
And coming from a dance music instrument like he has, that's how it's progressed. I mean, it did change my life in the sense that I could earn half decent living out of music production, but
Right.
now the sales, I mean, I got a record that was downloaded 110,000 times illegally.
Right.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, and
Now it's even more illegally downloaded.
yeah, exactly, and that's moved on even from now. And when you type that into Google and you see file share, rapid share, 110,000, it's like, wow. Do you know what I mean? That's really like it's disheartening. And when it sells legally for 1,500 downloads.
But I guess as a DJ, you might get. Do you see you get more opportunities now because of what happened?
Yeah and no. I mean, as a DJ, I don't DJ loads. I don't pimp myself out. If I'm going to do a gig, I want to do it a nice place, and I don't pimp myself out in not smaller places, but I don't like going out and just doing a gig in a bar or things like that. It has to be a club, and it has to be because if they know my music.
And you play a lot of your own music. How many percent or what?
On Sunday?
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, 3 hours, 100%.
Okay, that should prove something, right? That the crowd was really
well,
moving.
Yeah. If you're inside your soul,
yeah.
because that's why that was part of my worry and my nerves, is that it's okay playing 3 hours on Space Terrace.
Right.
For 21st time in 2011, that's one thing to be nervous about. But
now you've done it.
to play all your own music
Yeah.
is a different level of sort of nerves, to be honest with you. And I wanted to perform for the people that have put so much faith into me. One of the promoters there, he's genuinely put an awful lot of faith into me, and I wanted to prove him right and make him, do you know, and obviously prove myself right and do it for me. But he's put that much faith in me, and I would have hate to have embarrassed him in any shape or form. Do you know what I mean? And that was just my own pressure that I put on myself.
Yeah, of course. So going back a little bit in time, who was it that got you on the track to this type of music, and who kind of propelled you into where you are?
I mean,
today?
there is always stages
Right.
through different ages. The first one for me was Stevie Wonder.
Really?
Yeah, just listening to music sort of age 5 and playing air keyboard. And my mum noticing and saying, "Would you like a keyboard? Do you want organ lessons?" And I did about 6 months of lessons and gave it up because I wasn't learning Jean-Michel Jarre, Giorgio Moroder and Stevie Wonder. I was learning When the Saints Come Marching In and Michael rowed the boat ashore.
Yeah, it's quite different.
It's very different, and that wasn't what attracted me in the first place, so I stopped. And then I got to 13, and a friend of mine, Ben Brophy, had decks and all the house music. 12, 13.
And which time was this?
That would have been